Welcome to Triple T News Station. I'm Christina Lindsley.
And I'm Jordan Olmstead. Just in, a new infectious strain called the Andromeda Strain has overtaken a small American town, Piedmont, Arizona.
Almost all of the town's residents have already died from this highly contagious strain. Top scientists are puzzled by the cause of the sudden outbreak.
A few residents have somehow survived this epidemic. One of our reporters is in the field now investigating. What have you found out, Jade?
Hi, Jordan. Military forces have already deployed in order to search for more survivors and see what might be the cause of this issue. I'm here with Zach, a survivor of Piedmont, who is trying to figure out just what's going on here. Do you have any idea as to what this situation is?
I haven't a clue. I was just living my best life, going about my everyday activities. I went inside for a second because I needed to do my insulin shot or whatever. And it was kind of quiet outside, and I was like, I wonder what that's about. And I'm nosy, so I went to go check it out. And when I did that, I just looked outside, and everyone was just like dead. Like people, animals, everything. Gone, deceased, like on the ground, dead. And I was like, I don't know what that's about.
This happened so quickly. Have there been any new developments?
Well, they got the military out here right now, and they're saying it's some kind of virus. But I don't believe that for a second. Like, there is no way that was a virus that just, like, took people out that fast.
Why is the military involving themselves with a virus investigation?
See, here's the thing. That's what everyone's thinking, right? But I'm convinced it was the Soviets. This has something to do with the Soviets. Because I overheard them. They were saying this thing came from space. You know who's always sending stuff to space? The Russians. And I know for a fact that this thing wiped out people. Like, there's no way this was a virus. This has got to be some kind of, like, weapon of mass destruction put together by Stalin himself, okay?
That could be a possibility. Well, anyways, thank you for your time, and I hope this all clears up soon. Let's go back to the studio.
Wow, that is quite a strange occurrence. It certainly sounds like a sudden change of events. What do you think, Christina?
I think it's weird that there was a sudden outbreak with seemingly no explanation or source. I don't think it was the Soviets, though. They currently seem more focused on nuclear warfare than biological warfare.
We hope neither ever comes to be. For now, the virus seems to be contained in Piedmont, and since the town is isolated, it should stay that way.
And with the military guarding the borders of the town, no one should be entering, and the survivors are being safely transported out of the town in an attempt to find answers.
While we have been discussing these events, our reporter has followed the survivor back to the scientific compound, where scientists are working around the clock to find answers. How are things looking over there, Jade?
I'm here with Dr. Couture, a resident scientist of Operation Wildfire. Do you have any suspicions as to what may have caused this citizen to survive the epidemic and avoid being part of the death toll?
Thank you, Miss Jane. Supposedly it revolves around a common thread connecting our supposed immunity to the Andromeda strain.
And what would that be?
A slight variation in the body's pH level. Supposedly, the Andromeda strain is targeting people with normal pH levels, so if you alter the pH level, you'll be fine. It's not just affecting survivors at the town, but also me with my autism and the citizen with his metabolic acidosis.
Well, it's amazing that these health conditions are creating an immunity to the strain. And what about your team? Have you discovered anything about the virus? Is it even of this world?
Well, the only other info our team has that, besides the pH level, happens to be a crystallized structure that doesn't have any elements that make up regular terrestrial life.
Well, thank you, Dr. Couture. Be sure to keep us updated on any new developments and discoveries. Back to you, Christina and Jordan.
Thanks, Jade and Dr. Couture. This sounds like a very unique strain, especially if it doesn't have any earthly elements.
It does sound strange. I hope it doesn't spread too far, especially since it thrives in the normal human pH range.
It seems like the team at Operation Wildfire currently has things under control, especially with all of their protocols with different contamination levels.
Let's hope that they learn more about this strain soon and are able to either end it or find a cure. In the meantime, other strange events are happening today.
Have dinosaurs reappeared? We'll be back with this story after the break.
Line up!
me. You're not you and you're hungry.
Welcome back to Triple T News Station. I'm Jordan Olmstead.
And I'm Christina Lindsley. Are dinosaurs taking over the world? Jurassic Park in Costa Rica has recently had a breach of security, resulting in dinosaurs roaming free throughout the park.
Guess who's back? Back again. Rexy's back.
Tell a friend. Thankfully, there were several survivors, but 5 people also died in this incident.
Although the park had not officially opened yet, the company is still facing a major lawsuit over the deceased.
Our reporter Jade is meeting with InGen's lawyer, Rex Tyrano. What does he have to say about this incident, Jade?
I'm here outside SLU First City Court with Mr. Toronto. Mr. Toronto, what do you have to say about this incident?
We are not responsible for any deaths that occurred at the park. Though it was not open that day, everyone was well aware of the risk.
And what about the dinosaurs that have escaped the island? Surely InGen must hold some responsibility for having created them in the first place.
InGen does not acknowledge or take responsibility for any alleged events that occurred at the park.
And the miners that were present at the time of the incident, will they be receiving any compensation for experienced trauma?
No comment, but for those who need a corporate lawyer, call 1-800-545.
Let's go back to the studio.
Thanks, Jade. Sounds like Rex Tyrano didn't have much to say about this situation. What do you think, Christina?
I think this whole situation seems suspicious. By not taking responsibility for events that clearly occurred, InGen is only setting themselves up for future failure. What do you think, Jordan? Should InGen take more responsibility for what happened?
Yes, I think that InGen should definitely take more responsibility as they own Jurassic Park. They're hiding behind their non-disclosure agreements, but were they even thorough enough to begin with?
I would love to know what the survivors of this incident have to say about what happened.
Jade has come in contact with Dr. Grant, an expert witness in this horrific affair. What does Dr. Grant have to say?
I'm here with Dr. Grant, one of the paleontologists that was present for the Jurassic Park incident. How are you doing today?
Just had worst few days of my life, but other than that, I'm doing better. I never thought I would go from hunting dinosaur bones to being hunted by dinosaurs.
Must be a pretty big change of pace from what you're used to working with. Is there anything you can tell us about how InGen created these creatures?
I cannot. I signed a non-disclosure agreement, and also I feel that giving that information out just to the world would cause another incident like this to happen.
How did you end up in Jurassic Park in the first place?
I was invited there by John Hammond, the creator of Jurassic Park, and he invited me as well as 2 other people, Dr. Ian Malcolm and Dr. Ellie Sadler, because he wanted an expert's opinion on the park. And, we didn't really get much information other than that. So you can imagine my surprise when I went there and I saw real, living, breathing dinosaurs.
And what's your opinion on this whole situation and on the park?
I was amazed that they were able to do this in the first place. And I was also blown away by finally getting to see these behaviors of these animals acted out. I've studied them and I've predicted them my entire life, and just getting to actually see that and see what was true and what wasn't was just unbelievable. But despite all that, I know that it's just not feasible. It's not possible for something like that to be controlled or contained. Humans and dinosaurs have been separated by 65 million years of evolution, and we can't just simply coexist.
Thank you for your time, Dr. Grant. Back to you, Christina and Jordan.
Thanks, Jade and Dr. Grant. It must have been really cool to see real live dinosaurs, but I agree that humans and dinosaurs have been separated for so long for a reason. What do you think, Jordan?
I think that mixing 2 species that haven't interacted before in an enclosed space is definitely a dangerous idea. And trying to control extinct species when we haven't had a chance to truly study their behavior was bound to end in disaster.
I agree. It's a super cool concept, and the technology would be great for studying the behavior and physiology of extinct species, but unfortunately, it's been proven to be impractical and dangerous.
Stay tuned to Triple T News Station as we follow the progression of this lawsuit. We'll be back after the break. As always,
Lion up!
Welcome back to Triple T News Station. I'm Jordan Olmstead.
And I'm Christina Lindsley. Are dinosaurs taking over the world? Jurassic Park in Costa Rica has recently had a breach in security, resulting in dinosaurs roaming free throughout the park.
Guess who's back? Back again. Rexy's back.
Tell a friend.